And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah.
Select the team you want to join. Start your season with recommended set.
Just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash.
Not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Got 180.
My front four. I got one. Check.
Turbo set.
Now the third leading rusher in the NFL last year, Todd Gurley. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. These two teams, of course, met last year in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And, a lot of people were calling that kind of a throwback game to the 70s of the old NFL. And the Rams would get out to the 23-7 lead. Cowboys tried to make a late push, but the Rams would hold on for the 30-22 victory.
180. Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
The play fake to Gurley. Now gone. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
First down, Rams.
We go to line. Right 20. Right 54. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
On first down, it's Gurley. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Big stop, G. Big stop.
On the toss, it's Gurley. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Goff. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Well, the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Last week it was unbelievable how many times they were in the backfield. They had 7 sacks. Whatever they had for pregame meal last week, maybe they had it again.
I think they're going to continue to repeat it if they keep this up. But remember, we were at their facility, and we walked past the defensive meeting room, and what did it say over the door? Rush the passer. It's a philosophy. It's a statement. That's who they want to be, and they've been very successful with it.
Yeah, an opening drive sack.
Check, check. Lucky.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Cut! 180! Shell! Hey, box truck!
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
180! I got you! 76, tell him. 76. Hey, 2. Check 48.
Throwing on third. Gone. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Zuerlein, of course, last year had likely the iconic field goal of the season, booting that 57-yarder in the Superdome to send his squad to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you really hurt the Saints fans on that one, didn't you?
Sorry.
They didn't want to hear that at all. But this guy deserves his nicknames. Greg the Leg, Legatron, because the ball goes through the post at a heavy rate, 87% in 2018.
They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. He'll get 3 up to midfield. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Check. We're going to 54. Why in? 26.
From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. The former Charger All-Pro Eric Weddle on the stop.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. They'll turn to the power game at Olawalu. 3 plays, all resulting in 3-yard Carries to bring up 4th down.
A gain of 3 yards. It's now 4th down and 1.
And Jason Garrett's going to leave the offense on the field. They're going to go for it here on 4th. Here we go now with bwalker. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special runs in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now it's bwalker. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, after that pickup of a 1st down, I think some of the defensive guys are going to be looking over their coordinator and saying that was not in the scouting report. That went against every tendency most teams have. You don't usually hand the ball to your big guy in that situation. Sometimes you catch them by surprise.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A 1st down carry by Elliott. Down to about the 22 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. This is Elliott. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Run coverage, excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus, tackling the runner for a loss?
Go right in. What we got?
On 3rd down, Elliott. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Brett Maher now for the Cowboy field goal. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. The kick by Maher is good. Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move. The Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
Here we go.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now gone. Only 2 there on the dump off. It's 3rd down. Well, the returns for the Cowboys on Leighton Vander Esch have been pretty good so far. You know, a lot of Cowboy Nation questioned when they took him number 19 overall a season ago instead of Calvin Ridley. But Leighton Vander Esch would get 140 tackles last year, franchise rookie record for Dallas en route to a Pro Bowl appearance.
180. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Listen.
From the gun on 3rd down. Gone. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. The 4-time All-Pro Johnny Hecker is on to punt for L.A. Back deep for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
A big run there, 29 yards and a first. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
So we're going to 54. 1 Under.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join, who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. On the stop was Aaron Donald.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. Then we're going to 53. Get wild.
On third down, it's Prescott. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 41-yard line. 10th carry now for Elliott. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 58, right over there.
Elliott. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. The Cowboys on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Here we go, 46. 46.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33.
It's 4th down.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. So that drive began at their own 3. They wind up getting 3 out of it.
And to me, the mentality to begin the drive, that was probably the key to everything. Let's just make sure we take care of the football, give ourselves some room, and maybe punt it away. Instead, it started at the 3, and it ended with 3 points.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Here's Gone. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
Coming this way, here we go, 58, right over there, yeah, Mike, 58, right there.
Here's Elliott. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally taken down at the 34. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Elliott. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check, 59. Oh, you got deep?
On first down, it's Elliott. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. There to make the tackle, Samson Abukum.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. You remember me? You remember me? 26.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll run it with Olawale. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
The end result was brute force on brute force, but think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
On 2nd down now, it's Elliott, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Keep it up.
They go to Elliott again. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
He has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. The kick by Marr is good. And that will make our score 9-0. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
At their own 22-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half, Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Again they run with Gurley. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. And a nice little broken tackle run there by Todd Gurley, the 10th pick in the 2015 draft.
And that's what you get with him, that full package of speed, power, able to catch the ball out of the backfield. Many people doubted him coming out because of the knee injury in college. They're seeing the full Todd Gurley now, and it hurts.
Goff going to hand it to Gurley. And some room to Todd Gurley. Wave goodbye. Touchdown, L.A. Todd Gurley, his 11th touchdown of the year, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Arlington. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback. List to me, he's got to take over right now. By word,
Randall Cobb on the breakaway. 20. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Randall Cobb, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Jared Goff, 4 times last year, he led the Rams on a fourth-quarter comeback. He obviously didn't do it in Super Bowl 53, but can he do it here? And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 11 yards there, first down. So many questions about Todd Gurley in the offseason. How good is the knee? I mean, remember, he had a heavy workload the last couple years, nearly 4,000 yards from scrimmage, 40 total touchdowns, but just 4 carries in the NFC Championship game, 10 in the Super Bowl. So we'll see what kind of usage he gets this season. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Like 20.
Walk 54, walk 54. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. Kill, kill, kill. Shift, shift.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Out of the gun, Goff. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. Pass it, Brandon Cooks. Touchdown, L.A. Brandon Cooks, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. When they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down, make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Prescott from the gun. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by John Johnson. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
They run. It's Gurley. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line.
We go tonight. 20. 54.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
No gain on the play. And it's third down.
The Rams on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it.
Now Goff. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They go ahead and snap it. Goff. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. But he will not get away. He stopped short of the marker. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear the Cowboys are going to win this football game. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. They start on the ground with Elliott. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Again, it's Elliott. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it. It's Onawale. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Rams will get it at the 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Randy Gregory in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it, because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for Dallas, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Los Angeles, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Time to bring the bass bird.
Swear I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over here in diamonds. He the only reason why I do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray-Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ay, I know we the ones that ain't them. Put both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver, but I'm still a hot boy. Cool it down, let it simmer. Hey, see him mad, got him bitter. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she let her call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People at the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's a faucet. Took over the game, now we all in. I was down in the chips, then went all in. Throwing up the game, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
Time to bring the bass bird.
S-T-R-O. Yeah.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh? You ready?
STRO, I ain't come to play with you. Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support bra. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the win. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze. Freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.